Emotional mastery. So in this live episode, I'm going to just talk a little bit about the simplicity of be. The idea is to have a point of view, a strong point of view, moving away from kind of the collective idea of what it is and the popular one it is to be a human. People chase all these philosophies, they chase religions, they chase these ideas, or they just get swept up in the drama that's going on. Paradigm B is simply about having a placeholder to understand that there's a different way that we can be in this world. We are humans, and we can have a spirit experience rather than having an ego experience. And it all just boils down to simply mastery of our emotions. And it's okay to look outside of us to see how the popular notion of the way the world's working is that we have to somehow find a winner and a loser of ideas. And that's this right and left thing that's going on. And then there's these people in the middle that are trying to negotiate with everything. And if we look at it from a broader perspective, anybody who connects with that, let's just use the news as our idea today. The news is all about how the ego is doing in the world. And basically it's sensationalized. If you have any sense of when you go to the news these days, the titles are sensationalized narratives meant to trigger emotion. And there's this popular belief that by guiding ourselves by emotions, this is the right thing to do. But if you look far enough back, you can understand that this never works. These are archetypal stories that just continue, and it's what's giving a lot of people a perpetual sense of this is useless, this is meaningless. And if you look into it, what can you do then? What can we do? We can learn that life is the gift of experience. And it's the gift of experiencing you and bringing your gifts into this world. And we don't have to connect with the news in order to stay informed. In fact, the news is just forming a perspective that we continue to believe is the way. And I'm saying that there's this other paradigm, this paradigm B, that we can move towards, where people are their individual selves. They find out who they are. They're guided by their own conscience. They're guided by their own feelings rather than emotion. And so I prod and I pick at paradigm A, because it's the only way to get the attention there. That's what people's attention is trying to do, is they are trying to be fascinated by their own acceptance that as a human, I need to be guided by my emotions. And we need to people need to be snapped out of that in order to understand that there's another way of doing it. And the other reason to have B, just a simple B as a symbol, as a reminder, that's why I have stickers that I offer people, is just to remember that there is a greater perspective, and one that we can live in, where we don't need to be enamored by the fighting and the infighting and all of these things that people need to be believed to be true. So let's talk about how it works with emotions. That was interesting. This idea is that even though I have this understanding of B, I'm still a part of the human experience. And so I'm not always grounded in feeling. That sometimes I catch myself being caught up in some kind of emotions. Now I'm aware enough of when this happens, and I will recognize that, oh my gosh, my mind is making my decisions for me, and I don't want my mind making decisions for me. So what happens when I'm in those places now is I recognize that B is still there. It's kind of like a slingshot. I can feel myself. Let's see if I can get this correct. So I can feel myself drop out of a groundedness, but I know that B exists, so that I know that when I get through the experience of whatever this emotional turmoil, or that's a little hyperbolic, but I like to use hyperbolic because it is kind of what is happening. I'm going to be slingshotted back to B. I'm going to be slingshotted back into having my sails full. And there is a groundedness of knowing that I'm not going to have to live in paradigm A all my life, or very much anymore. And if I did, I wouldn't want this experience to continue going on. If I didn't know that paradigm B was possible, was a way that we could experience this, I wouldn't want the adventure. There is no adventure in paradigm A. It's all a delusional story. It's ridiculous. And it's basically the cosmic joke. That's what you get, is that when you finally wake up, you recognize that paradigm A is a joke. And which is great, because it also, when you understand it as a joke, you don't take it seriously. And so paradigm B is very much not a serious perspective. It is a fun experience. It's a joyful experience. It's a deep experience. It's a soulful experience. All the things that you can say, all the best yummy things about being a human are represented there. Things like tenderness and beauty and sincerity and compassion. And these aren't things that are used as weapons. They're used as experience. I'm not kind because I want something out of it, like an ego, something egoic. I want the experience of what it feels like. Because that's what we're sentient beings. We're here to feel sensations. And kindness, when I give it and I experience it, feel good. And so I can move towards things that feel good and know I'm on the divine path, whatever you want to call it, where I'm guiding myself by with fully grounded, with my sail with me, and my sailboat's going where I want it to go. So it's kind of the end of my message today, but Chelsea and I had this idea. Chelsea is my partner and a participant in Paradigm B, and we recognize that when these come to me, these live presentations come to me, she always gleans something, and her experience, she goes into a different direction. So we're going to ask her today if anything came to her that she would like to share. So yes, I'm gonna step out of the way, and I'm gonna let Chelsea finish up this chat.
Well, the main thing that I wanted to share is, that for me, understanding that emotions can be like the river of life that's just kind of like air, and we can grab into that, and it's like air, so it's not grounded. It's kind of like the clouds swirling around, and the heart is like, it has roots. the soles of our feet are on the ground, and that is the rootingness of our getting into our feelings. We are, like James says, sensory beings. When we are tapped into our senses, we are feeling. When we are tapping into emotions, it is the ego's way of creating motion. And that movement, do you want to go where that movement's taking you? Or do you want to feel grounded in your heart and grounded through your soul into the earth? So
Nice.
that's what I had to add.
So if anything comes from your experience, please reach out and ask questions, comment below, subscribe, pass these things on to your friends. I'm working on creating a store for my stickers. In the meantime, if somebody really needs a bee attitude, you can go to the website, paradigmbee.org. I've put up some of the designs that are available right now. We can work it out so you can get some stickers right away until the shopping cart is completed on the website. Anyway, I hope you have the most magnificent experience as a human.